don't know what he does, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that he avoided me or not. Let's just look at the facts. The facts is that Canelo fights for money. It would be a shame if it doesn't ever.
David Benavidez has finally opened up about the fight that boxing fans have been waiting years to see. After repeatedly calling out Canelo Alvarez, Benavidez explained why he believes the highly anticipated matchup never became a reality, and his latest comments have already sparked major discussion throughout the boxing world.
Scared of nobody. This would have been one of the biggest fights in boxing. It would have been bigger than him and Crawford. It would have been a big paycheck for both of us, and this is a fight that he definitely would have got a lot of respect from the people if he went in there and beat me. I don't know I don't know why that fight didn't happen. It should have happened. It would have been one of the best fights in Mexican boxing history. It would have been a big pay-per-view seller. And if he would have came in there and beat me, he would have got all the respect from all the people. So, I don't know why it didn't happen. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but I feel like that would be it would be a shame if it doesn't ever happen, because at the end of the day, what are we here for? We're here to give the boxing fans the fights they want to see and to give them great fights. I believe in myself 100%. I believe that I would go in there and beat Canelo. If he believes that himself too, then why didn't he just show the people and get the respect he deserves?
Benavidez claimed that Canelo Alvarez was never truly interested in making the fight happen. He argued that the matchup had every ingredient needed to become a reality, including massive fan demand, huge financial potential, and significant commercial value. According to Benavidez, there were no major barriers preventing the fight from being made, leading him to believe that Canelo ultimately made the decision to avoid the matchup.
Signs of wanting to fight. That was definitely a fight that all the people wanted, and it is a fight that made sense on both parts. Sometimes when a fight isn't made is because the money isn't right or, things are right, but, everything was there. The money was there. People wanted to see it. It would have been one of the greatest fights of all time, and because it didn't happen already, I kind of knew that it wasn't really going to happen, or I felt like Canelo didn't want the fight to happen. But after seeing that Crawford and Canelo fight, I'm like, oh man, this fight for sure is done. It's done for.
Did you watch the fight live?
Yeah, I watched it live.
Canelo Alvarez responded by saying the Benavidez fight made the most sense during the earlier stages of his super middleweight career. He explained that, at that time, Benavidez had not yet become a world champion and suggested that the matchup would have been more appropriate then. Canelo also pointed out the natural size difference between them, arguing that Benavidez had grown into a much bigger fighter, which made the potential fight more complicated as time went on.
Names out there, when I beat them, then the other name come.
Right.
Right now is Benavidez, but he's a heavyweight. He's a heavyweight fighting in 175 or no cruiserweight or something. But he's a heavyweight. It's not fair.
What a fight that would have been, maybe a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Was it ever close?
When I turn Undisputed,
yeah,
if he will be a champion at that point, that's the correct time to do the fight. But he wasn't, and he was fighting in 168 at that point, but he wasn't a champion. So, but that was, I think, the perfect moment to do it.
Was it ever close or no?
No.
Benavidez strongly rejected that explanation, insisting that Canelo Alvarez never had genuine interest in making the fight happen. He argued that the matchup had every major ingredient required for a blockbuster event, including enormous fan demand, significant financial rewards, and huge importance for the sport of boxing. In Benavidez's view, there were no real barriers stopping the fight from becoming a reality, leading him to believe that Canelo simply made the choice not to accept the challenge.
It's calling Benavidez a fat boy. So he's saying he never fought Benavidez because he's a natural heavyweight, even though Benavidez fought at 168. This is the thing I can't stand. Like, I'm not going to say Canelo's a flat-out quack duck. You could say Benavidez is a weight bully, but if you make the weight, you can make the weight. What does it matter what weight he made or what weight he is when he walks in? If you make the weight, you make the weight, right? If you're in the weight class and you make the weight, then you've made the weight and the fight goes on. I don't want to hear weight bully talks. Nah, bro. If Benavidez was always at cruiserweight and was like, yo, Canelo, come fight me, then you'd have a point. If Benavidez was always at 175, then you'd have a point. But he's just now moved into those weight classes. And there was a time, it was a short period, I will say, but there was a time, not short, but There was a time where they could have made the fight, and Canelo decided not to. I mean, Canelo went up and fought Bivol at 175. You can't talk about weight bullies when you keep going up.
Despite all the controversy surrounding the situation, David Benavidez made it clear that he is not looking back at what has already happened. Instead, he is focused on taking his career to the next level and proving himself against the toughest competition available. Benavidez emphasized that his mission is to continue challenging the best fighters in the sport, while maintaining that boxing fans have still not witnessed the absolute best version of what he can become.
We're happy with everything that we've had in our career up to this point, and now I'm just gonna take over. Then just plain and simple. And I'm not gonna take over by just taking over the date. I'm getting the toughest and hardest fights, and I definitely want to show you guys what I'm made of. I still have way more. This is nothing. I think
Benavidez also made it clear that a return to the super middleweight division is no longer part of his plans. He explained that the only reason he would have considered dropping back down to 168 pounds was for a fight with Canelo Alvarez. While he believes he could still make the weight if necessary, Benavidez admitted that years of competing at that limit had become increasingly difficult on his body. Now, he feels stronger, healthier, and better prepared to perform at his highest level in a higher weight class.
Going down to 168.
Right.
I wouldn't even, the only interest I had was going down to 168 was for Canelo, and if they told me to go down to 168 to fight Canelo, I wouldn't even do that. 68 for, 11 years? And my body is growing out of 168, you know what I mean? To be honest, I can fight 168, but my thing is that I gotta fight in the weight class that I feel the best, that I give myself the best chance to win, and it's 175, you know, I wouldn't go down to 168 for anybody.
Shifting the attention toward David Benavidez's future, Robert Garcia believes he should first focus on the biggest challenges available in his current weight class before making any permanent move toward heavyweight. Garcia highlighted potential fights against Dimitri Bivol, Artur Beterbiev, and Jai Opetaia as the matchups that could truly define Benavidez's legacy. In his opinion, defeating elite opponents like these would add far more to Benavidez's career and reputation than moving up in weight too quickly.
That I would love him to do, maybe at that same weight, or maybe go down to fight Bivol and Beterbiev, and the other one is what's that other cruiserweight that signed with Sufa?
Jai.
Opetaia.
Yeah.
I don't know if that fight could even be done now that he's with Sufa and what belts they're gonna fight for, whatever. I don't know. But those are three fights that I would like to see Benavidez.
On the other hand, David Benavidez made it clear that Dimitri Bivol remains his primary target because of the championship opportunities attached to the fight. He explained that capturing those titles would significantly strengthen his resume, improve his standing among the sport's elite pound-for-pound fighters, and bring him one step closer to building the legacy he has always envisioned in boxing.
Bivol is really he's the only fight I really want, like that I truly want, because he has all the belts. You know what I mean? After I beat Bivol, I'm gonna have, right now I have 8 titles. You know, 3 of them were interim, 3 of them world championships at super middleweight, light heavyweight. Now I got 2 of them at cruiserweight. I really want those belts. You know, I want those accolades. So that's the only thing I want right now.
Benavidez expressed complete confidence in his ability to defeat Dimitri Bivol while acknowledging the level of challenge that awaits him. He gave Bivol credit as a highly skilled and respected fighter, but emphasized that facing the best opponents in the world is exactly what drives him. Benavidez made it clear that he wants to test himself against elite competition, prove his abilities on the biggest stage, and show boxing fans what he is truly capable of achieving.
The truth, that's why I'm really confident in myself that I could go in there and beat Dimitri Bivol. It won't be easy because, like I said, he's a great fighter, but at the end of the day, this is what we're here for. We're here to compete. You know, I want to compete against the best, and I want to show the world who I am. I've been sparring world champions since I was 14 years old.
Dimitri Bivol responded by praising David Benavidez's mentality, explaining that it is completely natural for an elite fighter to pursue world titles and seek out the biggest challenges available in boxing. He acknowledged that this desire to compete against the best is what pushes the sport forward and creates the high-level matchups that fans around the world want to see.
He has a belt, and I want his belt, and I want to defend my belt, and I want to be
Dimitri Bivol also recognized David Benavidez as a dangerous and highly motivated opponent who has the confidence and ambition to pursue the biggest challenges in boxing. He acknowledged that Benavidez's desire to face elite competition reflects his strong competitive mindset and his willingness to test himself against the very best fighters in the sport.
I respect him as a fighter. He's a really great fighter, and what he's saying that he wants to fight me and better be, it means that he's a great fighter. He's confident and he wanna achieve more and more. It's good.
Benavidez also spoke highly of Dimitri Bivol, describing him as one of the most complete and technically skilled champions in boxing. Instead of viewing Bivol's speed, intelligence, and defensive ability as reasons to avoid the matchup, Benavidez explained that those exact qualities make the fight even more exciting for him. He emphasized that he has spent years chasing the toughest challenges in the sport and made it clear that he is fully prepared to take advantage of the opportunity whenever it presents itself.
But Dimitri Bivol, he's a great fighter. He's probably one of the best fighters out there today. Just because he's so technical, he has good speed, he has good power. But at the end of the day, that's only going to turn emotional on. You know what I mean? So I'm ready for this fight. Like I said, I've been calling for all these fights because...
Expanding on that, Jose Benavidez Sr. made it clear that David Benavidez has no interest in taking easy fights or accepting simple tune-up opponents. He explained that the team's main goal is to prove David belongs among boxing's elite by consistently challenging the best fighters available. Benavidez Sr. added that they are focused on securing the biggest opportunities at light heavyweight and are even open to moving up to cruiserweight if the right challenge emerges. According to him, the priority has always been building David's legacy through major fights and difficult challenges rather than choosing the easier path.
He wants to prove the people that he's the best. I would love to fight Bivol because he beat Canelo. He beat Zurdo Ramirez. So if we can beat the one that beat the one, you know, those are the fights that we want to look for. We don't want no tune-ups, you know, and you seen David never wants tune-ups. He wants to fight the best. So we're here to fight the best at cruiserweight or...
Eddie Hearn, however, remained skeptical about the move. While he praised David Benavidez as one of the best fighters in boxing, he argued that the super middleweight division is where Benavidez's style gives him the biggest advantage. Hearn believes David's size, relentless pressure, and physical strength make him especially dangerous at 168 pounds, while questioning whether those same qualities would have the same impact against a technically elite fighter like Dimitri Bivol at light heavyweight.
Benavidez, I think he's a good fighter. How good? You know, Godzik is decent. You know, he's strong, old. I don't think Benavidez is a 175 fighter. I don't think he beats Beterbiev. I don't think he beats Bivol. But I think he's very hard to beat at 168. I think that's where a lot of his advantage.
Breaking down the potential matchup, Stephen Edwards recognized Dimitri Bivol as one of the most technically refined and complete fighters in boxing. He highlighted Bivol's exceptional footwork, high ring intelligence, and disciplined style as some of his biggest strengths. However, Edwards also pointed out that David Benavidez's non-stop pressure, high-volume attack, and ability to constantly move forward could push Bivol into situations where he is forced to fight at an uncomfortable pace.
He has a two-fisted attack, and he has a bigger variety of punches. So that's a lot to just deal with, knowing that, you know what I mean, if he hits you clean, he could you know, do some kind of damage to you. And he's going to hit Benavidez because Benavidez is going to step to him. That's how Benavidez fights. So I think that's, I don't know if I would pick Benavidez if this was 5 years ago. You know what I mean? But it's not. The man is 41, and 41 is 41. So I pick Benavidez to beat him. I think Benavidez gets off a little too quick for him.
Edwards also emphasized that the pace of the fight could become one of the most important factors in determining the outcome. He believes David Benavidez's non-stop pressure, incredible work rate, and younger physical advantages could gradually wear down Dimitri Bivol over the course of 12 rounds. According to Edwards, Bivol's movement-based style requires tremendous energy and constantly circling, avoiding pressure, and maintaining distance against Benavidez could become increasingly difficult as the fight progresses. If Benavidez is able to maintain his usual intensity and offensive pressure, Edwards believes the accumulated volume and constant attacks could eventually shift the momentum in David's favor.
David's going to be hitting him with 4 and 5 shots. And I like David's youth in that fight. With Bivol's a tremendous fighter. I got a tremendous amount of respect for him. But it seems like that the way he moves and he doesn't fight on the inside, Benavidez can kind of force him to overmove and move more than what he would like to move and force him to kind of run out of gas. For as good as Bivol's conditioning is, he does take off rounds because he fights in the constant bounce all night. And I think that Beterbiev's pressure and Benavidez's pressure is different. Beterbiev is more calculated. He actually have good footwork and defense, but it's more subtle and calculated, where Benavidez is a little more frenetic. And I think that he will force a harder pace on.
Sergio Mora shared a similar perspective, favoring David Benavidez in a potential showdown with Dimitri Bivol. He believes Benavidez's speed, timing, and punching power could be the deciding factors in the matchup. Mora explained that David has the ability to cut off the ring, close the distance, and disrupt Bivol's movement with a sharp, well-timed jab before the champion can establish his rhythm. While acknowledging Bivol's physical strength and technical ability, Mora pointed out that Bivol has never been considered a major knockout puncher, giving Benavidez the advantage in overall firepower and making him the fighter he believes holds the edge in this potential battle.
Bivol's the way because he's not a big puncher. He's footwork, and you need to know how to close down that distance and footwork. Benavidez has that. Speed beats the timing of Bivol with that jab. Speed's going to intercept that, and then ultimately the power. Power's going to be on Benavidez's side. Bivol's never been a puncher. He's strong, but he's not a puncher. So everything's for Benavidez. I would see him being the major favorite here.
Bruce Carrington provided a thoughtful and balanced perspective on a possible clash between David Benavidez and Dimitri Bivol. He praised Bivol's consistency, calm mindset, and disciplined fighting style, pointing out that the champion rarely moves away from the approach that has brought him success at the highest level. Carrington explained that Benavidez's biggest task would be finding a way to disrupt Bivol's rhythm and force him into uncomfortable situations, something David has been able to accomplish against other top-level opponents. However, Carrington chose not to make a final prediction, emphasizing that both fighters have developed and improved greatly since their earlier sparring experiences.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know because Bivol's so disciplined. From round 1 to 12, he's here, back and forth with this. He is stubborn with that style, bro. So it's all about him getting Bivol off of his game, which he has the capability of doing. He's broken down so many people. Yeah, I heard that too. You know, where is he at? He's confidently talking about it in his interview, saying how he got him in sparring. But he also lets it known that it was good work though, at the same time. And there's time that's been since that happened, and both fighters has grown since then. But man, Bivol, bro, it's gonna be tough. That's a fight that I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't know how it'll go down.
I do think he beats Beterbiev at Beterbiev.
Sean Zettel also favored Dimitri Bivol in a potential matchup, highlighting the champion's refined skill set, composed decision-making, and ability to stay calm under pressure. He pointed to Bivol's outstanding footwork, quick combinations, and defensive awareness as the qualities that separate him from many of the top fighters in the sport. Zettel also emphasized that Bivol's performances against elite power punchers have only strengthened the belief that his high ring IQ, technical discipline, and tactical precision could give him the advantage against David Benavidez.